Hey guys, I'm Gaming Potato, and welcome back to our game of Satisfactory. In today's episode, I was thinking I would do a base tour, as things have changed a little bit. And what I've actually done is I have restarted the game and rebuilt my entire factory from scratch again. So I basically got back up to the point where I was in our previous video, where we were at the point of almost ready to get our particle enrichment milestone. But I have changed a couple things, and that's kind of what I want to show you in this episode. I found a really good vantage point here where I can see my entire base. This is everything except for our oil extraction. Our oil is being extracted over here in the oil fields. Yeah, it looks like it's not actually spawning the machines, but in the middle there you can see a power pole. That's right where our oil extraction is, going up to an oil tower here. And that tower is nice, as it means we don't need to build any pumps for our pipeline, which is coming down here all the way here to feed our oil. So over here I have my aluminum production. Then here I have copper production and quartz. In the back, I have modular frames, as well as reinforced iron plates and rotors. Right here, I have just our basic starting components of iron sheets, iron rods, and screws, as well as circuit boards off to the side here. I've actually got a circuit board factory as well. Then over here, we have all of our steel works, as well as caterium and concrete. And then right here I have another little factory I've set up. This is producing stators. This has a copper wire factory as well as a steel pipe factory, all feeding into a stator factory. Then back here we have our coal power plant. This is 36 coal generators all running off the little lake here. And then here we've got our oil works producing plastic and rubber, as well as residual fuel powering our fuel generators there. All of this is feeding into our main bus, which we can see right there. We'll go take a closer look at that. Main bus is feeding out here. We can see it poking out there. And then all our advanced production here is being done using our manufacturers and blenders. So this gives us a really good view of the whole factory. It's not taking up a lot of space, which is nice. The other thing is all of these factories here are actually all blueprints. So I can just pick the blueprint I want if I find one here. I've got parts. If I need any of these parts, I can just select what I want, and then I can plop down a factory for it, which is really nice. So yeah, everything here is blueprinted, so it's quick and efficient. Even my refineries here, it's all blueprinted. The fuel generators are also blueprint, as are my manufacturer and blender lines here. These are two manufacturers stacked on top of each other. And 2 is nice because with 2 machines, you can do low and high throughput. With low throughput, I could just be running 1 or 2 of those machines. For a high throughput, I could overclock them to get 2.5 times, so the equivalent of 5 machines. And then on top of that, I could put summer sloops in them to get up to a 10 times increase in production. So I can go from 1 or 2 machines worth of production all the way up to 10 machines worth of production just by using power shards and summer sloops. That allows me to do a lot of production in a very small area, as each of these machines are producing a different product. But if I needed more of that product, I could just build another factory and have it producing more parts of a similar type. So why don't we take a closer look at the factory. Build a little ramp here to propel ourselves. We'll take a look at the main bus here, as my previous main bus basically had to be built from scratch with a couple pieces that were blueprinted. But now, due to the Tier 2 blueprint designer, I've actually got a singular blueprint for this whole device here. So all of this, with these storage boxes and all of these vertical lifts, as well as my new logistics floor here is all one singular blueprint. So now this space is much smaller. I have only a couple lines coming in from the front. The vast majority of my lines are off to the side, which is nice because it means less clutter. This is all nice and open. In my previous video, if you'll remember, there are belts everywhere here. This just looks very clogged. But now it's very clean. I can see exactly where everything is going. There's very minimal clipping on any of these components. And then same on this side. It's all very clean. We have our bus coming in here. I have a couple what do they call these things? Awesome sinks. Yeah, a couple awesome sinks. One's doing rubber, one's doing plastic, just to make sure nothing is backing up here. And again, very clean, very minimal clipping here. And then if I head inside, it's even cleaner than before as well. If you remember, before there was a massive amount of clipping. Here, there's just a very minor clipping. It's very accessible. I can go anywhere I need. If I need to upgrade any of these belts, like you can see a couple of these belts have been upgraded from steel to Mark IV belts. It's very easy for me to do that. That's one of the main things I wanted to do is find a way to make this main bus blueprint much better. And I believe I have accomplished that. Also, you can see it's Fixmas, so I got my Fixmas line here. Right now, it is producing wreaths. There's my Christmas tree. And, oh yeah, I forgot to build a storage chest here for my wreaths. Just go like that. Perfect. Wreath production can continue. I refined some more of my blueprints. I made a couple better bus lines here. So this is a nice bus line. This is basically bringing in everything from this side of the map. And then I got my other parts merging in over here. So if I find my blueprint for this, I believe it should be here somewhere. Main bus plus storage. Yeah, here we go. So you can see it needs a lot of parts, 1700 steel. But this whole thing here can be built in a singular blueprint, which is really nice. So why don't we find our blueprint designer? We'll have to find somewhere we can place it. Sure, we can just place it like this for now. And why don't we go ahead and make this just so we can see what it looks like. I believe my steel beams are right here. We just need rods and sheets. I actually don't have iron plates or iron rods built it into the bus. They just sit here in boxes, which is because they don't actually need to be in the bus. All of the higher end components that require these parts have their own factories. Mainly rotors, reinforced plates, and modular frames over there. They all have their own factories producing these parts, which is really nice. So I don't actually have to add those to the bus, which leaves me a couple extra bus lines. So let's see, why don't we load our blueprint here. Look at that. The whole main bus logistics sorter all fits in a single blueprint. Super convenient. Now I believe this is 7 by 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 7. So that's 64 minus 8. So that would be 56. So we can fit 56 lines within this blueprint. And it takes all the labor out of making this. Getting all of these perfectly level with each other. Getting all these belts in here all figured out. It's such a hassle, but now just a singular blueprint. Super quick and easy. There we go. We got that cleared. And a couple other things I've done is I have created a new blueprint for my assembler line here. My previous blueprint did not have belts set out here for the outputs, but I have now condensed those together. I've also redone my power, so you can see there's no power poles here. I have power running underneath, and then I just have, find it, there, I've got these guys just sitting within the foundations, so it's very clean. So if we run to the end of the line here, so now if I wanted to extend this, I can copy it. So you can see here we've got the power lines. We've also got the splitters and mergers underneath. And if I need to add these together, all you have to do is press Control. When I press Control, they snap, and then the lines are fully assembled and ready to go. So if I need to build a couple more of these, there are 2 pairs, 4 machines. You can see they're belted and ready to go. So it's very easy to get a bunch of extra additions to this line going. This is also very beneficial for speeding up gameplay. That's another reason I was able to get this whole new factory done in a pretty quick fashion, which is really nice. You'll also see I'm running on ionized rocket fuel, so my climb rate is super high, and the efficiency is pretty good as well with this fuel. Now I'm not actually making any kind of ionized rocket fuel. I just bought some of the parts to make this and research it from the auction shop. Now if I need, I could buy more of this ionized rocket fuel. I also have packaged fuel in production, and I have a bit of packaged rocket fuel, and this is just from the Fixmas event here. There was some rocket fuel in there. For now I'll stick to my ionized fuel. And you can see here I've got my line of trees, just running a manifold, feeding into all my production lines here for Fixmas. And then we've got our wreaths coming out here. And pretty soon I'll be able to make some stars as well. My oil line is pretty nice. I have a good blueprint here. So you can see this is 4 machines blueprinted together. I have a left facing and a right facing blueprint. And they are also slightly different in that the piping here, one of them has a high pipe and the other one has a low pipe, so that they can be merged closer together without getting any clipping. This allows me to pump in 2 Mark II pipelines. So I've got 1,200 cubic meters of oil coming in, 600 for each line. A little buffer tank here, just to make sure everything is looking stable. And then all of this is giving me my fuel output. And I have a blueprint here for fuel as well. So you can see here we got 4 machines blueprinted together with a little pipe between them and a power pole. So it's very easy to just copy and paste these out, get a good pipeline set up for fuel generation. Feels pretty stable there. Not sure what this guy's doing here. We'll get rid of him. I'm really happy with this blueprint for my manufacturers. It looks pretty nice, and it's a great way to get my manufacturer lines going. I got my opening in the back here for my 4 lines, and power coming in via a 2-sided conduit there. No access ramps or anything, as they wouldn't fit in the blueprint designer. Although with a Mark II designer, you could build these bigger, you could build stairs and stuff if you wanted, but I prefer to keep these small, as I knew I was going to need a lot of them, and the wider they get, the further and longer this pathway is going to be. We've got all our high-end materials being manufactured here. And then towards the end, you can see we got our blenders popping out of the top here. For most of our late game stuff here, we've got our blenders. This guy's doing fused modular frames, and they are slooped. Yeah, we're a little short on our aluminum casings, and I am having a bit of a water problem with my aluminum, so that's probably what that is just trying to get aluminum, the water output balance. Why don't we just launch ourselves over to the aluminum site. And I'm assuming that's probably what the problem is. I think the only issue I've got is just water here. So let's see if there's water buildup here. Yes, there is. Why don't we just drain this pipe? There we go, water's dropping nice and low. So basically these 2 machines are producing water, which is going into this tank. And then I have that pipeline coming down and feeding into 1 or 2 of these machines. Yeah, so it's just coming into this machine right here. This is taking 225 water per minute. And this is producing 240 water per minute. So, yeah, we do have an additional 15 water per minute coming out. So I wonder, what if we bump this up a little? There. Let's see, let's go 134%. A little high, 133.5%. Still a little high. There. So this leaves us with just a hair of additional water per minute. So we'll see how this goes over time. Hopefully that'll sort of balance out. Yeah, we got our all-clad sheets there. And aluminum casings coming in here. I do have these 2 machines overclocked. I will probably end up increasing aluminum production. That might be in the next episode or 2. And there's my aluminum line. So this is my bauxite coming in. I've just got bauxite. There's 2 bauxite lines right near the top here in the red forest. So I just have those coming down on a belt, as they're the closest bauxite that I can get here. And then of course I have my lookout tower with a radar above. I've also got a really nice blueprint here for my coal power plant. You can see my truck in the background there. That truck is bringing in coal from the coal crater just back here. All that coal is being fed here, in addition to this sulfur line, to produce compacted coal. And this is also a blueprint here, my compacted coal blueprint. And that is providing compacted coal to all 36 of these generators here. maxed out, running on compacted coal. And one of these water extractors can feed 6 machines if you overclock them. I've got 3 power shards in each of these. So from this tiny little lake, I'm able to run all 36 of these coal generators. This is really nice because this means I don't need to build all of this way over in the coal crater, which means less trips. I take 1 trip over there, set up a truck depot, and then I basically never have to go back there again unless I want to upgrade my coal extractors and my belts. Everything is built right here in my base. Got my compacted coal. And then over here I have 2 battery storage lines as well. This is also a blueprint. And each one of these, why don't we just open this up here. You can see we got all our battery storage in here. Each one of these holds, I believe, 3.2 gigawatts. So we have a total of 6.4. Yeah, we have 6.4 gigawatts of storage. It's all totally maxed out as we're not in a deficit right now. Consuming about 8.4. Our capacity does fluctuate as we also have, I believe, 6 geothermal generators. I might have a couple more than that. But those 6 geothermal generators are varying our capacity. You can see sometimes we slip below what we're actually producing based on where those geothermal generators are currently producing. So we're kind of right on the line right now. Once we get those particle accelerators running, then we're probably going to have to start generating more power. So why don't we head up to my lookout tower. I've got a couple hypertube cannons to launch me if I need to go anywhere, and my radar tower there. This is a really good view of the main bus. Our assemblers on the one side, manufacturers and blenders on the other. I'm not sure where I'll put my particle accelerator. Maybe I'll just keep it in line with my manufacturers over here, or I might throw it somewhere else. We'll see where that ends up going. And then this assembler line is nice if you're not sure of how much of a part you need. I'll always start off running parts in this assembler line. And if I determine that I need more than this can produce, for example with circuit boards, originally I had 2 machines producing circuit boards, then I had 4 machines producing them. But eventually I realized that's just nowhere near enough. I would need a ton of them for producing circuit boards. So then I took the circuit boards out of this assembler line, and I actually built them right here. So this blueprint with this output here is outputting circuit boards. It has its own dedicated copper sheet factory as well to supply it with parts to make those circuit boards, with plastic being piped in as well. That's a drastic improvement to my circuit board output. And same with stators rate as well. This is a stator line here with iron wire or copper wire and steel pipes being piped into the stator factory. Then over here is my steel, deuterium, and concrete factory as well. So that's all I really wanted to show you in this episode, is just a quick walkthrough of my base so far. Next episode, we'll get this particle enrichment milestone done, and we will start producing particle accelerators, which should be pretty sweet. Alright, if you enjoy my content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll have more episodes soon. Alright, thanks. Bye.